There is a space inside you that longs for stillness, a part untouched by chaos, unshaken by noise. But the world you walk through, it pulls at you, with endless distractions, loud desires, cluttered thoughts, layer upon layer added until you forget who you were beneath it all. You wake up overwhelmed, not because life is too much, but because your mind has carried too much of what doesn't belong. Zen doesn't offer more, it offers less. Less noise, less confusion, less mental furniture taking up sacred space. To live simply is not to have nothing. It is to carry only what serves your peace, and to clean the mind is the beginning of that return. The Zen masters say, clarity comes when the mud settles. But most minds today are rivers in flood, rushing with thoughts, comparisons, tasks, opinions. Every notification adds noise. Every expectation becomes weight. And slowly, without noticing, your inner world becomes a storage room, full of what others said, what you should be, and fears that aren't even yours. But in Zen, we are taught, you don't clean the mind by adding more thoughts. You clean it by observing them without judgment, by letting them pass like clouds across the sky. Silence isn't a void, it's a cleansing. And when you choose simplicity, you don't lose anything essential. You only let go of what was never truly yours. So take one breath, and now take one more, not to do anything, just to notice. This is where simplicity begins, not by changing your life, but by changing your relationship with it. Zen minimalism is not about the objects around you, it's about the space within you. And when that space is clean, everything else falls into place. That's why this message found you, because a quieter, simpler mind is calling. And if you feel it too, don't let it fade. Subscribe to Echoing Zen and tap the bell icon. Each week, return here for gentle reminders that you are more than the noise, more than the rush, more than the clutter. Let's simplify, together. Imagine your mind like a room. If every thought were an object, how much space would be left to breathe? Every regret from the past, every what if, every I should have, every silent judgment. They all take up space, and the more you hold on to them, the harder it becomes to move. Zen teaches us that awareness is the broom, not control, not resistance, just seeing clearly, seeing what belongs and what doesn't. When you notice the mess without running from it, it begins to dissolve. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to stop carrying what no longer serves you. Letting go isn't a task, it's a practice. Simplicity begins the moment you realize you don't need more to feel whole. You need less that distracts you from wholeness. The world will tell you to chase more productivity, more success, more validation. But in Zen, wholeness isn't something to chase, it's something to uncover. You strip away the noise, and you find the stillness. You remove the clutter, and you find the clarity. You stop trying to be everything, and finally become yourself. This is why monks wear the same robe each day, not out of poverty, but out of freedom. Because when you stop choosing between things that don't matter, you make space for what truly does. You see, we often confuse simplicity with lack, as if letting go means losing something. But true simplicity is spacious. It's abundant in its own quiet way. It's not about having less. It's about needing less. When your mind is clean, you don't crave distractions. You don't reach for your phone every 5 minutes. You're not weighed down by the opinions of others, or your own endless inner dialogue. You begin to notice the breeze, the weight of your breath, the sound of silence between moments. And in that silence, you feel something you've missed for a long time. Peace. Peace isn't something you earn. It's something that was always there, beneath the noise. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that complexity equals intelligence, that being busy means being valuable. But Zen whispers the opposite. It teaches us that clarity is the highest wisdom, that stillness holds more power than movement. Think of a lake. When the surface is still, you can see the bottom. But when it's stirred by wind and chaos, you see nothing. Your mind works the same. The more noise you allow in, the more your inner vision is clouded. But as you remove what is unnecessary, what truly matters rises to the surface. This is why Zen simplicity is not decoration. It is devotion, not to emptiness, but to truth. Most of what clutters your mind wasn't placed there by you. It came from voices you trusted, parents who meant well but planted doubt, teachers who valued performance over presence, peers who rewarded busyness, not balance. And slowly, layer by layer, you built a world that looked right, but didn't feel right. Zen invites you to pause and return to the you that existed before the labels, before the comparisons, before the pressure to be more. You don't need to escape your life. You just need to see it with new eyes, clear eyes, unburdened by stories you no longer believe. Because peace isn't found in a better version of yourself. It's found in the version that needs nothing added. Letting go is not always an action. Sometimes it's simply permission. Permission to no longer hold what isn't yours, to set down what you picked up unconsciously, expectations, identities, comparisons, noise. And in that surrender, something unexpected happens. You don't become empty. You become clear. A clear mind doesn't resist. It doesn't argue with the present. It allows everything to be as it is, while choosing what to carry forward. Zen doesn't tell you what to do. It invites you to see what no longer needs to be done. When you stop trying to fix yourself, you start to understand yourself, and that's when the real transformation begins. Not from effort, but from stillness. Simplicity is not always soft. Sometimes it requires the courage to walk away, to say no to things that once defined you, to release relationships that drain you, to declutter commitments that once made you feel important, but now only keep you occupied. The Zen path is not about becoming less. It's about becoming more of what truly matters. And that often means subtraction, not addition. You begin to choose your thoughts like you choose what enters your home. Would you let a stranger barge in and make a mess of your space? Then why let every fleeting worry rearrange your peace? In Zen, you are not asked to control the world. You are asked to clean the lens through which you see it. And sometimes that lens is simply too full to reflect anything real. So, empty it, make space, and in that space, truth will quietly arrive. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt calm, not because of what was in it, but because of what wasn't? That's what a simplified mind feels like. It's not crowded with reactions. It's not echoing with unfinished thoughts. It's just present. Most of us live in mental clutter, and clutter creates confusion. You can't hear your inner wisdom if it's buried beneath noise. But when you simplify your thoughts, your intuition becomes louder. Zen minimalism is not a trend. It's a sacred practice of honoring clarity. You begin to realize that peace doesn't require perfect conditions. It only requires a quiet mind. And that mind is built by choosing, moment by moment, what you let go of and what you let in. When you stop rushing to fill every silent moment, you begin to feel time differently. It stretches, it breathes, and so do you. You no longer see your day as a checklist to survive, but as a series of sacred pauses to inhabit. You sip tea instead of gulping coffee. You listen without planning your reply. You sit without needing to scroll. And in those small, quiet acts, your nervous system finds home again. Zen doesn't force simplicity. It reveals that you've always longed for it, that your soul has been whispering all along. Slow down, strip back, come home. A simplified life doesn't mean abandoning the world. It means no longer being enslaved by it. When your mind slows, clarity emerges naturally. You begin to see what is truly essential, not the noise, not the clutter, not the distractions, but the core of your being, your values, your purpose. Zen teaches that this clarity is not distant or complicated. It is simple and immediate, like the calm surface of a still lake. Reflection becomes possible. You see yourself as you really are, and from that place, choices become clear, effortless, and true. As you embrace simplicity, you start noticing the small miracles of daily life. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze, the quiet smile of a stranger passing by. These moments, once overlooked, become your sanctuary. Zen reminds us that happiness is not in acquiring more, but in appreciating what already is. When your mind is clear, your heart opens, and you find joy not in things, but in being. Simplicity allows you to live with intention. No longer distracted by endless wants or fears, you can focus on what truly matters. Each action becomes deliberate, each choice meaningful. Zen teaches that in this clarity, you find freedom. Freedom from the chaos of the mind. Freedom to be fully present in your own life. The path is not about perfection, but about returning to yourself again and again, with kindness and acceptance. Peace comes not from adding more, but from embracing less. When you release the need to control everything, your mind softens and opens. You begin to trust the flow of life, knowing that clarity will come in its own time. Zen teaches that patience is a form of wisdom. By letting go, you create space for what truly matters: peace, presence, and purpose. In that space, your soul can finally breathe. When the clutter leaves, awareness expands. You notice how often your thoughts once pulled you into the future, into anxieties that never happened, or dragged you back into memories already finished. A simplified mind lives where life actually is, Here, the breath is soft. Here, decisions feel lighter because they are guided by values, not by pressure. Zen calls this returning to the center. No matter how far you wander, simplicity is the compass that brings you home, quietly, steadily, again and again. Simplicity also deepens relationships. When your mind is clear, you meet others without the fog of expectation. You listen instead of rehearsing replies. You offer presence instead of performance. Conversations slow, yet feel richer. Shared silence becomes a bond in itself. People feel safe around uncluttered energy because it invites them to lay down their own armor. In cleaning your inner space, you create room for genuine connection to grow. There will be moments when the old noise returns, a surge of tasks, a flood of opinions, a rush to prove. Don't fight it. Notice it. Then choose, deliberately, to let it pass. Simplicity is not a finish line. It is a practice of continual release. Like sweeping a temple floor each dawn, you clear the mind daily, knowing dust will gather again. The power lies in the ritual. Each stroke of letting go polishes your awareness until clarity becomes your natural state. You have journeyed from noise to stillness, from excess to essence. Now ask yourself, what single thought, habit, or possession can you release today to give your mind one breath more of space? Do it, and watch how even a tiny pocket of clarity can transform the whole room of your life. Share in the comments. What will you let go of first, and how do you imagine that space will feel inside you? Your decision might inspire someone else to begin their own quiet return.